better behave. I'm gonna spank your bottom with a flip-flop.
Yeah.
Don't float that boat, no matter what boat you came off of, man.
Boat? I swam over from the Philippines. Are you crazy?
You ready?
He ain't got the body for it. What?
You ready?
I heard you. I'm asking him.
Bring
What'd
the
you say?
bell.
Well, everybody, Dylan Hale's here. We are at Action Wrestling's Founders Day Festival event here in Tyrone, Georgia. I am coming to you from an undisclosed location, a climate-controlled location here, and we are watching our first match of the evening. It is Cabana Man Dan taking on David Ali. Cabana Man Dan, of course, has been here in action before. David Ali not actually a veteran of action. This is his first time in an action wrestling ring, and interesting environment for this show. As you'll note, we are outside for this one. Gotta wonder if the humidity, if the on the ground conditions just a day after Hurricane Michael came through the region, going to affect maybe the approach or how these guys try to pace themselves in these matches. In the early going here, you got some chain wrestling with Ali in control of Cabana Man Dan. Of course, you may have heard Cabana Man Dan threaten to stump the bottom of David Ali before things got started. Ali, though, in control right now. Nice drop down, up and over. Good leapfrog by Dan. And nice hip toss. Look at that full torque. Drop to his knee, get all the power. Dan's not the tallest guy, but sometimes that allows for a little bit more follow-through, almost an advantage, you might say. The reckless disregard that he's able to throw into some of his offense. We saw it on display there as he controls Ali with a headlock. Ali counters. Now he's the victim of a big shoulder tackle. Of course, another thing worth keeping your eye on in this match is the fact that Cabana Man Dan does wrestle barefoot. You always wonder if that's going to affect the pace. Ali tried to go to the well with his own hip toss instead. A variety of arm drags there as Cabana Man Dan controls the pace. Isolation. Now he's got that arm targeted, and he's reading the riot act to David Ali now. Ali, of course, also a participant at the Scenic City Futures event, also available here on PowerBomb.tv. Lost to Isaiah Frazier there. He's looking maybe to get a big win here. Look at that. Big counter. Nice running European uppercut. Dead center of the ring. Rolls over into a cover here. Only a 1 count. Nice resilience by Cabana Man Dan. Obviously at a demonstrable disadvantage there. Ali, a much bigger guy, more powerful guy too. We shouldn't undersell the strength of Cabana Man Dan. I do think sometimes that size betrays the actual impact of his own shots. Nice kick. Big forearm smash. But Ali targets the leg there of Cabana Man Dan. Look at this. Look at that. Almost a suplex variation into a drop down slam. Quick cover. No, just a 2 count. Referee Daryl Hall right there on top of things. I always say this when I get the chance. Daryl Hall, one of the best officials in the state of Georgia, if not the entire southeastern region of the United States. Very happy to have him with us as part of Action Wrestling as well. Look at this. Look, Ali might have been going for a nerve hold there, thought the better. Instead, he just pulled him up by the trap. Well-placed kick, targeting that whole, almost the whole back region from the top to the bottom. There we go, that barefoot coming into play. I mentioned it earlier. You always got to wonder with Cabana Man Dan if that's an advantage or a disadvantage. Maybe it helps his striking. Maybe it even helps his grip on the mat. But to have your feet exposed, especially if you're in there with a guy like David Ali who does not mind taking the advantage that you throw at him, that can really put you in a bad position. Now we see David Ali controlling the pace with a waist lock in an outdoor environment like this where it may be harder to get your win because of the humidity and the other conditions. A waist lock can wear you down at a much more extreme rate than you might see in an indoor show. Back elbows, Dan able to fight through. Look at that, an interior chop. I don't think Ali saw that coming at all. Got coached in. Dan likes to go for this float over DDT sometimes. Reaches down. Is he going to be able to get it? All the way. Yes, sir. Spiked him on his head. Ali almost rolled all the way out of the ring on the other end. Dan go for the quick cover. Too close to the rope. Should have rolled his opponent off there. Cabana Man Dan, a very smart veteran, but that was, I got to tell you, that was almost a rookie mistake from a veteran there, not pulling Ali back to the center of the ring and Ali back to those legs. And I got to say, in this contest, the barefoot, the no boot strategy, Cabana Man Dan, I think has actually been a massive disadvantage for him. Ali has kept going to those legs, and now he's got a hold of the flip-flops. But Dan blocks it. Ali is not a master of that domain. Nice, well-placed kick, though, going back to the well, though. Dan counters. Able to pick it up off the canvas. Oh, my God. Look at that, a short shot. Another big one to the chest. Follows through, a backhand with a chop there. Up, goes through, nice leg lariat. Dan's got him reeling, drops him down. Almost an unconventional version of an atomic drop back kick, mule kick. Ali folds up. This crowd very excited for Cabana Man Dan here in Tyrone. Going maybe for that sliced bread variation he likes to use. Did not get a full torque on that cravat. Ali pushes off. Counters. No. Dan with those short punches. He used a lot of short strikes in this match to his advantage. Into that sliced bread. 1, 2. That's it. Cabana Man Dan winning the opener here today at the Founders Day Festival in Tyrone, Georgia. Action Wrestling. A big win for old CMD. Putting himself in the winner's bracket here.
Let's get in the ring. 1 and 2 out. 1 and 2 out. They get up on the tape. 1 and 2 out. No, I thought it was 3 on 3. It's 3 on 3. We're good sports. It's 3 on 3. Sports, right?
Oh, look at that. We're back here with our second match at the Founders Day Festival. And kind of a disgraceful attack here by the Chosen Few. The Chosen Few in. We've got Chance Ryzer, James Ryan, and Michael Spencer, and they're opening up on the admittedly unconventional tag team we've got from WWA4. Look at this, Tommy Maserati, as I start to introduce them with a nice Hurricane Rana counter. You got Tommy Maserati, Leon Ruff, and Dani Jordyn. And they're seconded, or maybe fourth or fifth, I guess. Nice cover there. By Sean Dean, who of course we've also seen here at the Action Scramble not too long ago. And Bobby Flacco, who also was present in that match. And this is an interesting dynamic. You've got kind of a 5-on-3 setting. Of course, Flacco and Dean are not participants in this matchup, but you got to wonder, will they be involved? And you know, as despicable as the Chosen Few's early antics were, you got maybe that was smart. I mean, they've got 2 extra people on the floor out there. They've got to pay attention to. You got to strike while they can. As I say that, Michael Spencer in a bad position in the wrong corner of the ring, totally isolated. Maserati with that big drop kick in the corner. Now Ruff in. Nice. God, he tied himself in the Tree of Woe there, having to be pulled out. He's just sort of rebounding into the gut of Michael Spencer. Dani Jordyn now officially tagging into this contest. She had a tremendous showing in the aforementioned Action Scramble. Really one of the standouts in that matchup. One of the top rising women's stars. Personally, I think of the entire Southeast, certainly in the state of Georgia. Nice cannonball offense there by Dani Jordyn. Ruff now, they've got Michael Spencer totally isolated. The Chosen Few, they're not in the best position here. I think they thought they were going to pick their shots early, get a clear and decisive advantage, and instead, it has not worked out that way. And they've got themselves in a bad place. Spencer with some nice back elbows, counters into his own waist lock. Maybe should have gone for the tag there. Rolls through on the Alcana roll attempt. Look at that. I think just slightly off camera, James Ryan able to get a cheap shot in. Now he's telling our cameraman he's so pretty. That's open for debate, but Spencer goes for the cover. Look at that smart ring positioning. He's got Ruff in his corner of the ring. Ruff counters, nice high enziguri. Still in the wrong corner of the ring though. And look at that. Chosen Few back to those 3-on-1 tactics. They've definitely, look at this, nice cover. Very, very good cover. Spencer still holding his head from the damage he sustained early. Very smart of him to tag out here. I think the chance Ryzer we've got in here. Look at that. What a boot. Very, very well placed high, almost up in the armpit area underneath pectoral targets. Ruff drags him into the corner. Very, very, very smart tag team wrestling. You don't have to like the strategy of the chosen few, but you do have to appreciate what they're doing. This is an interesting dynamic too, because the chosen few guys, I believe, maybe out of that fire starter school there in North Carolina. So you've got the fire starter school versus the WWA 4 school, if you will. Big suplex, dead center of the ring. 2. Chosen few now grinding it in. Nice elbow drop.
There you go.
They've got Ruff really rattled here. Big chop. God. Almost flying out of the ring there is Leon Ruff. Maserati just sort of desperately reaching for the tag. Look at that cradle. Nice cover. That was an very, very strong cover by James Ryan. Awkward, but still strong. Had the full control of the body of Leon Ruff. Total leverage, totally dominant there. Michael Spencer coming in with another cheap shot. This crowd's kind of giving him the business in Tyrone, Georgia. I want to thank the city of Tyrone for letting us be a part of their Founders Day Festival. I want to thank Matt Griffin for letting me do the commentary from a climate-controlled position here. Leon Ruff, oh my God. I mean, he's been flying around the ring all match long now. Goes that quick cover. I actually thought Spencer might have got him there. I mean, Ruff is totally discombobulated, doesn't appear to be even know where he is. And the chosen few have really been the master of cheap shots in there. Any chance they can get, if Ruff is close enough to their corner, they're throwing these little rabbit kicks, they're pulling his hair, they're doing anything they can to inflict any level of damage they can on Leon Ruff, truly chipping away at him piece by piece in this contest. Ruff with the flurry, Ryzer cuts him down. Maserati knocked off the apron. That's the second time I've noticed that Maserati has flown almost to the sound stage we've got back there. Up and under. But Danny Jordyn's still on the apron. Maserati was knocked down. Dani was not. Big Dani in. Nice lariat. Kicks low. Impressive flurry here. Spencer says, don't mess with my friend. He gets a lariat for his troubles. Jordyn in full control. Look at that, a cheap shot. Ryzer with a well-placed boot. Our cameras caught it perfectly. He's up and over, able to avoid the impact. German suplex. But Jordyn's up. Danny Jordyn. We saw it in the scramble. She's the master of the Germans herself. Tosses him right on his neck. Goes straight to the cover. Oh, very, very close. Very, very close. You got worth remembering. Flacco and Dean are running around ringside, almost rallying the troops here. The WWA 4 school contingent. They've got their own support squad there. That can make a difference in a contest like this. Ryan with a total cheap shot. Danny Jordyn turned right into it. Maserati, nice leg sweep. Tommy, the big punt. My God. Totally threw himself into that. Spencer counters. Sweep DDT. Now he gets a reverse atomic drop for his troubles. A big lariat. Everybody down at this point. Ryzer rolls through. Almost a leaping flatliner. There's nobody there. If he goes for a cover, this could be it. There's nobody to break up that fall at all. I think he should have gone for the cover. Instead, he's trying to call a shot. Tucks him, going for some pump handle variation. Did not work out how they planned. Look at this teamwork. Danny Jordyn. I don't even know what to call that. Almost a backflip DDT from a seated position there. That's it. The WWA 4 contingent with a big victory here at the Founders Day Festival. Action Wrestling. Oh, wait a minute. Michael Spencer with a total ambush. Totally disgusting here. This matchup is over at this point. Flacco and Dean have had enough. They were not participants in this match. To their credit, they stayed out of the match itself, but they're not going to tolerate this again. Look at up and over. Huge, almost a sling blade, wipes out the entire chosen few. Now Dean up and over, huge. God almighty. The WWA4 crew standing tall at the end of this one here in Tyrone, Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your winners of the match, Maserati and Jordyn.
That's the big bad guy. Do you think that guy's gonna win or something?
Your referee for this contest, Ryan Rembrandt.
Here we are back again at Action Wrestling Founders Day Festival. We got our third matchup, and this one is one that I have to admit that I'm particularly interested in. We've got AJ Gray taking on O'Shea Edwards, two of the baddest dudes, not just in the Southeast, I would say in all of independent wrestling, if not all of pro wrestling today. These two had a tremendous matchup back at Southern Underground Pro earlier in the year, one of the hardest hitting matches I've seen all year. A match that really earned O'Shea Edwards his spot there in Southern Underground Pro, and since that point, O'Shea Edwards has aligned with Brett Eisen back, down, or I should say up, at Southern Underground Pro in Nashville, and AJ Gray is one of the guys who's been in their crosshairs. So while we're seeing some interesting chain wrestling, some interesting technique, and a nice headlock early from AJ Gray, this matchup has a personal component, maybe not something you might be immediately aware of if you're not a regular follower of Southern Underground Pro, which is also available here on PowerBomb.tv, but it's something that I think caught the eye of the Action Wrestling matchmakers, made them decide that this might be something we need to test down here in Tyrone, Georgia. And we're going to see some heavy hand fighting in this one, I'm sure of it. Nice shoulder tackle there. O'Shea Edwards, one of the most powerful guys in all of the independents today. But AJ Gray, a freak athlete, a guy who's not only freakishly strong, but also freakishly agile. As I say that, look at this, nice blindside leapfrog, comes up, big shoulder tackle of his own, full impact from the former college football player at Austin Peay. And look at that, he's putting it together. Big chop, goes into an arm wringer. Little disorienting tactic perhaps there. Nope, doesn't get all the way over, just that's enough. Look at that spin kick, O'Shea not able to avoid it. I think O'Shea might have kind of coaxed himself into thinking that he was going for a crisscross and ran right into the impact of that kick. Alan Angels, it should be noted, is seconding O'Shea here. An interesting alliance perhaps forming between those two. Look at that, a sky-high variation. That's the second time. 1, 2. Very close. That's the second time that O'Shea Edwards has walked right into an offensive maneuver by AJ Gray. You gotta wonder, is he confused? Is this newfound alliance with Alan Angels something that is perhaps he's not? It's taking his focus, drawing his focus to a different pace than he was expecting out of this matchup. Big counter comes in, up and over. Almost loses his footing, slips down to the ground. That's the grass out here. You never know what you're going to fall in on the ground. O'Shea catches him. Look at that. Released overhead, belly to belly. Referee Ryan Rembrandt straight. No, he was in position for the cover. Very strange here. It's not a strong cover from O'Shea. I got to say, I've been extremely impressed with O'Shea Edwards over the last couple of years as he's risen through the ranks of wrestling here in Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, all throughout this region. But he does seem slightly disoriented, slightly off his game so far in this one. As I say that, a big, I'll say it, boss man style attack.
That's right, O'Shea.
Got him down, but that's another weak cover. That's 3 consecutive covers from O'Shea Edwards in this matchup that frankly, lackadaisical is probably overrating their value. He is not putting everything into the covers there, raining down some big blows, and referee Ryan Rembrandt's trying to break this thing up. He might want to think twice about that a little bit. He's got a job to do, but O'Shea Edwards is not a guy to make mad. I can tell you firsthand that there will be consequences if you make this guy mad. AJ Gray, look at that right hand. Very well placed right from AJ Gray. Goes for a cross body. O'Shea catches him. He might be going for that spin out driver. Nope. Walks him to the corner. Instead, we're going to get that overhead slam. Shades of Scott Hall. AJ Gray rolling almost all the way to the corner post there. Of course, we saw that at our last big action event with Big Eric Royal tossing Fred Yehi wildly around the ring several times. One of the better matches we've had here in Action Wrestling. O'Shea, yet again, kind of getting roped into the game of AJ Gray. He's been one step ahead of him. AJ went for a springboard, did not get all of that. He did get all of that and then some of that Polish hammer variation. Look at that back elbow. My God, he caught him right on the jaw. And O'Shea is rattled, has no clue where he is. AJ Gray now with a big headbutt. I'm not sure if that was the wisest tactic at that point in the game when he had definitive control of the matchup. It took something out of him too. Sticking with it. Whips Edwards into the corner. Follows through with a nice forearm. Maybe going for a fireman's carry? Sure, yeah, deadlifts him. That is a strong guy, folks. Death Valley driver. Trying to get his wits to him. 2. That was a decent cover, but again, several times in these contests now, both men have had the other man down and not really executed the best cover I've ever seen, to put it mildly. Push him down, chases him in, big elbow. Angels tried to get involved there. Swings him out, plants him. Dead center, 2. That's it. O'Shea Edwards with a big win. You gotta chalk that up to Alan Angels, I think. You gotta chalk that up to Alan Angels getting involved, providing the distraction for just long enough so O'Shea Edwards could get the big victory here at the Founders Day Festival. What a weird alliance this is.
Ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
You ready?
I was born ready, pal.
Ring the bell.
All right, this is a real treat we've got, or perhaps an anti-treat, if such a thing exists, a poison, as we've got MJF here for the first time at the Action Zone, taking on James Bandy. James Bandy has really turned into one of the rising stars of Action Wrestling. Nice. Up and under. Look at this. A little bit of lucha from MJF and Bandy, and MJF bailing there. Doesn't want any part of that big right hand from James Bandy. Instead, he's going to argue with our crowd here, make a fool out of himself like he usually does. One of the most pompous jerks in pro wrestling. But an incredibly skilled pro wrestler, no question about that.
Oh, real cute.
Star in MLW, star in AAW, star basically everywhere he goes. I mean, I'll give him credit. He's got a mouth. He knows how to use it to his advantage, and he's got some skill that he can back up that mouth with when he's not busy arguing with children like he's doing right now. Bandy, on the other hand, really has put himself in a great place in Action, sort of quietly getting wins, chalking up wins slowly over James Ryan, over Alan Angels, and rising up the ranks of Action Wrestling.
Sportsmanship.
Okay, well, I don't know if I buy this. I don't know if I buy that MJF has ever been a good sport at anything he's ever participated in his entire life, adult, child, or otherwise. But he's offering a handshake to Bandy. And, you know, Bandy's a guy who I think felt overlooked for a little while here by Action Wrestling Management, but he's earned this opportunity against one of the top names, frankly, in all of independent wrestling. Of course, goes for the cheap shot, steady bails. And back to arguing with well, now he's arguing with an older fan in the crowd. He's moved on from children, at least. Bandy finally giving him a taste of that right hand. He's been itching to deliver these shots, and now he's got MJF out on the ground, and I gotta tell you. Yes, sir. Oh, big body slam on the ground here out on the lawn. And I've got to tell you, folks, there's nothing that brings joy to my face quite like seeing MJF roll around in the dirt at a public park. I hope Bandy takes his scarf and chokes him with it. I'm sorry. It's difficult for me to be impartial when you're talking about MJF, one of the biggest jerks in pro wrestling. But this would be a huge win for James Bandy if he were able to get the win here. I've got to tell you, I think he's the decided underdog. Even though he's in a position of control right now, literally battering MJF from pillar to post, the smart money on this matchup would for sure be on MJF. Look at that. He lured him in, and now he rushes in to beat the count there. Very smart tactical wrestling by MJF. Kind of duped the inexperienced Bandy. Both these guys probably have roughly about the same experience level, but MJF's been all over the world already. Bandy really just getting his start, and MJF's really isolated that arm. He's targeted that arm. As I say that, look at that. He's throwing those mounted punches, but if you look, folks, he had his knee draped over that arm that he just targeted. So while he's throwing those big punches, he is aware, he's cognizant, he's a thinking man's wrestler. He knows that he's got the arm of James Bandy hurt as well. And as I said that he's going to go to dissect it right now, he likes to use that arm bar as a submission, standing on the hand.
What was that?
Yeah, now he's just trolling the crowd. We get it. Yeah, you're better than us, allegedly. Okay, whatever, buddy. Big stomp, though. I mean, listen, this is... We talk about technical wrestling. That's a term that's often overused, I think. Technical wrestling is really understanding pressure points. It's understanding how to isolate a body part, understanding the various methods of attack that you can utilize with technical precision. And that is what we're seeing right now from Maxwell Jacob Friedman. We are seeing a technically precise assault on the arm of James Bandy. He's utilized every tactic he can think of, legal, extra legal, from arm bars to evading contact, to strikes onto the arm itself, everything possible to isolate and injure the wing of James Bandy, so to speak. And he's got full control in this armbar, but this crowd is really getting behind James Bandy. They've really adopted him as one of their own over this year, our inaugural year here at Action Wrestling. James Bandy has become one of the favorites here in Tyrone, and he's using that free arm for the chops now. Big flurry. Oh, man. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. He had MJF reeling. Tried to use the injured arm. Look at that. Very smart cover. Okay, now listen. I get, you know, people joke about me always talking about covers. That cover right there was a smart cover. No, he did not hook the legs, but he put all of his weight on the arms of Bandy. He made him use that injured arm to press out. And now he's getting frustrated, okay? He goes to the eyes, goes to the face, sort of grinds that forearm, fancies himself the eye poke god. Yeah, now he's mocking the crowd as the crowd mocks him. This is really, for MJF, he's got to be careful that he doesn't rope himself into a situation where he's competing against both the crowd and James Bandy. And when he was saying focused on that arm, he was clearly in the driver's seat. He's going back to it here from an elevated position. Referee Daryl Hall's got the count on, but he's got to stay fixated on this. He cannot let the crowd get into his head. Bandy has really leaned on strikes in this matchup. He's often utilized some very unique offense, but in this matchup it's been strikes. Look at that, suckered him in. Head first into that top turnbuckle. MJF chased in, nope, traps the arm, look at that. Leg sweep lariat combo. Bandy's arm still hurting though. Trying to rally support. Really needs to draw on the energy of this crowd here at the Founders Day Festival. Fighting back to his feet. Big running lariat, full impact on that one. This is an interesting version of James Bandy, as we've seen a very strike-heavy attack from him in this matchup. Maybe surprising MJF. Oh, well-placed knee to that injured arm. Shoots off, no. What? Yes. Standing Uranagi, not able to sink into it, but he gets onto the cover. Very close. Got to wonder if he had been able to follow through and go to an immediate cover there, if that could have been the end of the contest. That split-second difference where he had to regain himself, sort of get control, try to work out some of the kinks in that injured arm, might have been the difference between him winning the matchup right there and having to fight through and hopefully get back into an offensive position. As I say that injured arm right into the turnbuckle. Great evasion from MJF. Bandy doesn't see him. Bandy did not see him. That arm is attacked, and now he's down. He's down on the mat face first. And MJF's got a Fujiwara-style armbar on. He's got full control of the body of James Bandy. This is the last place on earth that James Bandy wants to be right now. And keep in mind, this match has gone for a while. They're outside here. These conditions, psychologically, they will play with you too. Bandy able to drag himself to the rope. That is a shock to me. And MJF putting some extra torque on. He's got that 5 count. He knows how to bend and break every rule he can. Referee Daryl Hall looking at him with a little bit of contempt there, I think. But he's not going to DQ you. He's not going to DQ you. You can milk that 5 count. To be honest, smart wrestlers know that. You don't have to like the tactic. You don't have to like the strategy, but smart wrestlers are aware. And as I mentioned earlier, MJF, to his credit, psychologically one of the smartest wrestlers and, frankly, biggest jerks in all of pro wrestling. Look at that. Just pushes Bandy into Daryl Hall. I think Hall's head may have hit the top rope. I've mentioned this before, but those ropes, folks, those are not giant rubber bands. They've got steel cables in them. If you don't know and you're not prepared and used to that impact, that's huge. And MJF's going to retrieve the chair. He's retrieved the chair. This crowd, thankfully, they're shrieking, sort of notified Bandy to turn around, and MJF's still holding that chair. We've got a, what the hell? Excuse my French, but Daryl Hall's back to his feet. Bandy, but Hall's down. Hall's totally rattled. Bandy was trying to hide the chair behind his back. MJF has now literally fed a weapon to his opponent. We've got a downed official who may or may not care if MJF gets walloped in the first place because, frankly, Max is such a jerk, no one cares about him. And now he's begging off. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Bandy going for that home run swing, maybe. What? Daryl Hall back up, maybe for good this time. He sees a chair in the middle of the ring. Both these guys are playing possum. I mean, I've heard of doing anything for a win, but this is unusual, to put it mildly. MJF now sprints over to get the chair. Daryl Hall takes it away from him. MJF in the face. Bandy out from behind. High cradle, that's it! James Bandy with a big win. The biggest win of his career over MJF. And that is a huge duke for James Bandy heading into the Action Wrestling Championship Tournament starting October 26th here in Tyrone, Georgia at the Action Zone. All right, folks, we are back with more action here at Action Wrestling as we've got the debuting Marko Stunt taking on Alan Angels. And Alan Angels, one of the top prospects in the state of Georgia. We say that a lot on these shows. We feature some of the top prospects in this region, no question about it. Marko Stunt, dare I say it, one of the biggest stars in independent wrestling. His meteoric rise has been shocking, I think, to a lot of people, but well-deserved as he has stepped up with every opportunity he's been given. And Angels now, maybe a little bit cocky, to say the least. Is he asking Marko Stunt to lay down? Is he?
I'll do it.
Yeah, I guess he did. He thinks he's entitled to a win here. I don't know if this is smart strategy by Alan Angels or not. We did see him earlier help O'Shea Edwards in that big win he got over AJ Gray, and Marko Stunt instead striking a pose, voguing here, to use a very timely reference, channeling my inner Jim Ross with that reference. Marko now he's laying down, lateral press. That's a 2. You know, Angels, you gotta hook the leg there, buddy. You gotta hook the leg. I mean, I gotta side with Marko on this. If you're gonna shoving contest, Angels, I think, has taken some sort of offense here. Angels definitely on the rise, as I mentioned. Nice headlock. Recently competing in a tremendous match at CWF Mid-Atlantic against Cam Carter for the Ultra J Championship. Came up short there, but was a big, really a mark-making performance by Alan Angels, who we should note is not totally unfamiliar to Marko Stunt. Big up and up, nope. These two did square off in a triple threat setting, also with Josie Coyne involved at the Scenic City Futures Tournament. Marko Stunt, of course, coming out on top of that one. Battle of shoulder tackles here. This is not how I expected this match to go. I mean, Marko Stunt, the guy with a big shoulder tackle there, big win. Marko Stunt, as we speak, I mean, look, this guy is the Bone Storm champion, the champion of Southern Underground Pro. Big star, GCW, nice tope there. Driving Alan Angels almost all the way to the bleachers. Marko Stunt also, big performance in the All-In Battle Royal. And you know what? You look at this guy and you think, okay, maybe he's a flyer. Maybe he can confuse you with his speed, but he's not going to be heavy-handed, and you're wrong. He actually is probably one of the most deceptively nasty strikers in pro wrestling. Look at that! High cross body, high cross body. Very, very close. Angels at a loss there. And if you'll note, he took that big chop to the chest, and then Marko following up with a big high cross body also to the chest. Very, very smart tactical wrestling. Marko now having to tie his shoes. That was a mistake, you know. Only guy I've ever seen tie his shoes mid-match and get away with his Negro Navarro. And Alan Angels made Marko Stunt pay for that there.
My chest is red now.
Angels, it looked like he had untied that shoe as a strategic move earlier, and Marko, he went right into it. Look at that nice belly to back. He fell for that trick. I mean, you got to power through that. You got to ignore that. I understand he doesn't want to trip, but the reality is that little opening was enough for Alan Angels to take control of this contest.
What's wrong with you, huh?
And now he's just paintbrushed him. I think Angels, by the way, sees this in a personal light that maybe Marko Stunt does not. I think he sees it as a personal affront that Marko Stunt has gotten certain opportunities that he has not gotten. And I think he's taking it upon himself to work out these frustrations in the ring right now. Big corner kicks there. Referee Ryan Rembrandt on top of the action. That was perfectly legal. He was administering the account, doing a good job, but got to keep your eye on Angels. He's already been involved earlier in this one, and he got in, frankly, on Rembrandt's dark side, or his backside, to cheat in that earlier match. Rembrandt did not see it, so nice drop kick by Marko Stunt. Well placed, catching the jaw of Alan Angels there. Marko fighting back up to a vertical base. Chases him back in. Nope, up and over. Lands on the apron, though. Stunt with very, very good balance. Probably has better balance than most people in pro wrestling. Up and under the ropes. Big enziguri comes all the way high and tight with that one. Went for a springboard. Wait a minute, who is that? Is that O'Shea Edwards? It is. But O'Shea Edwards caught a back super kick. He didn't see it coming. But Marko dove right into that forearm. Able to kick out. I thought that might have been it. Referee Ryan Rembrandt has really been worked over by Angels and O'Shea tonight. I did not see O'Shea out there ringside.
He was a child. That guy's a child. Have you seen him.
Okay, Angels is saying Marko Stunt's a child. If that's the case, I'm not sure he should be beating him. But that notwithstanding, he pulls Marko back up to inflict more damage. Look at that. That is a textbook high elevation, delayed belly to back suplex. You do not get any better than that, folks. Going to the mount, strikes there. You know, if you're gonna do that, why get up? Why not play for the stoppage? I understand that the referee's on top of you at that point, but go for the cover. Stunt rolled out to the floor. And Big O'Shea Edwards is sort of looming around there. Worth noting, O'Shea Edwards might have a personal issue with Marko Stunt, too. They were supposed to have a match at Pro Wrestling Freedom not that long ago, the Dumpster Fire event available here on Powerbomb.tv. That match unable to happen because Marko Stunt ended up getting drafted into PWG's Battle of Los Angeles at the last second. So on top of this alliance with O'Shea and Allen Angels, there could be a personal issue with Marko and O'Shea as well. A lot of people get jealous when you find the sort of success that O'Shea has found, or rather Marko has found, O'Shea for that matter too, over the last couple months. And they're battling here, and I mean, this positioning is frightening. I'm not sure if both men are actually angling for a superplex to the floor. Marko now standing on that top rope. Look at this high rope over, massive Frankensteiner from the top rope. Angels shaking. This crowd totally getting behind Marko Stunt. And as the sun continues to go down here in Tyrone, Georgia, you do wonder a little bit if that's going to affect things. Things might cool off a little bit, but the line of sight might be a little bit different. So far, though, it's not had much impact in this contest. But as this one goes on, that could play. It could play with their equilibriums a little bit. Nice flurry of drop kicks here by Marko, staying on top of things. Went for the third, missed it. Air ball. Angels got no, float over from Stunt. Retreats to the corner, tucks in, loves to play in the ropes. Marko Stunt out of the corner is extremely dangerous. Big knee. Angels folded completely up. He may be unconscious. Big cover. 2. Almost got the 3. Marko Stunt holding on to that neck. I'm wondering at this point if it may not be better for Marko to just stay in the ring. I understand that high risk is his bread and butter, but he's clearly showing some signs of this battle physically. His body falling apart a little bit on him here. Angels chases him up top, maybe playing possum just a little bit, although that knee really did tag him. Marko fighting through nice gut shots there. Angels flips off. Look at that balance by Allen Angels. Marko showing him how it's done as well. Look at that. Beautiful snap, power slam into a Rings of Saturn variation.
Tap Marko!
Throwing some elbows as well. Look at this flurry. Marko's body slowly going limp. He's trying to regain position. Trying to float those legs toward the ropes. Not a big guy though, so height's not to his advantage. He's got to get all the way across the ring. He has to drag himself. He's about maybe 6 inches away. Maybe, oh, he got it. And Angels has got to be frustrated to have a hold like that. His signature, really, on a guy Marko Stunt's size. In theory, that should be a guarantee. And O'Shea pulls Marko to the floor behind referee Ryan Rimbrandt's back. Marko up. Oh, he hit the mark out of the floor. Or I should say on the ground. O'Shea Edwards rolling wildly. He's out of it. Going for it again. Mark out. He got him. He got him, and Angels has fallen into position. Are we going to see the 450? Marko Stunt loves to use this combination. Gets his balance. Hits it. Oh, God. He hit him with the knees. That might have been worse than the body press. That is it. Marko Stunt with a huge win in his Action Wrestling debut over Allen Angels. And really, may as well have been over O'Shea Edwards, too. The old 1-2 punch for Marko Stunt, a big victory here in his debut. And this new alliance of Allen Angels and O'Shea Edwards, they may have been victorious in their first outing tonight, but the second go-around didn't work out as they planned.
That's y'all's team right here.
That's fine. Hey, y'all better show some love for the west side right now. That's all I got. Y'all got no love for the west side, all right? Hey. One in, one out. I can't make that joke. Hey, hey, I can be PG. I can be PG. 2018, you're mad because my partner's striving. Y'all are mad because me and my partner are striving. That's right. I was born ready.
Here we go, Action Wrestling tag team action here. As we've got the Gymnasty boys, the team of White Mike and Timmy Lou Retton, taking on the Lynch brothers, Matt and Joey Lynch. Joey Lynch, of course, Scenic City Invitational winner this year in 2018. Matt Lynch was in the Scenic City Scramble. He's a former Scenic City Invitational entrant as well. The Lynch brothers, one of the top tag teams in the region, won championships all over the place. The Gymnasty boys, also one of the top tag teams in the region, and they're getting all over the place as well. They've been up and down the roads all over the country, hitting spots in the Midwest, hitting Canada recently for interspecies wrestling. So these guys have logged the miles, and White Mike, one of the more flamboyant performers in all of independent wrestling. Heard him bantering before the matchup, saying he can do PG. White Mike versus the family-friendly standard may in fact be feud of the year. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, but he says he's going to mind his P's and Q's. He's been watching his Disney Channel preparing for this one, so we'll see how that goes. Now Timmy Lou Retton calling out Joey Lynch. This is an interesting matchup here. Timmy Lou Retton, an accomplished singles wrestler on top of being an accomplished tag team wrestler, part of the Gymnasty boys. And these two guys, believe it or not, they're probably the two most agile guys in this matchup. Timmy Lou Retton, like Joey Lynch, is a tremendous high flyer. You wouldn't know it from looking at him, but one of the best high flyers in the Southeast today, probably Timmy Lou Retton. Big shoulder tackle there. Knocks Joey Lynch to the canvas, up and over. Nice leapfrog from Joey Lynch into a great duck down. Look at that, disorients him. Almost did an end around there. And Timmy ran right into the drop kick. White Mike tossed to the floor for his trouble. The Gymnasty was totally being taken out of their game early. Joey Lynch hitting these ropes. Oh, all right. I thought we were going to see a big dive there. Gymnasty's read it and parted like the Red Sea. Changing position. Wait a minute, Elf. They walked right into the impact of Matt Lynch there on a middle rope tope while Joey held the ropes open. The Lynch brothers, really one of the better tag teams in the region, not just in theory, but in practice in terms of their tag team prowess. Always utilizing double teams. Huge moonsault for the king of the moonsault, Joey Lynch. And he has taken out the Gymnasty boys. They about flew into the bleachers on that one. Timmy Lou gets thrown into the ring, and White Mike now rolling around on the ground. Apparently White Mike's butt cheeks are hurting. That's our camera caught that. I guess that's technically PG. Arm trapped here. Got both arms trapped now from Joey Lynch. Look at this. This is a bad position to be in. I mean, that's a no-win. You talk about guys picking body parts. That's picking both arms and damaging both. Nice drop toe hold. Hooked him over to almost a Moodalov variation into the drop kick. Nice cover by Matt Lynch. Very smart ring position there. If you notice, Matt Lynch was looking at White Mike, not necessarily daring him to come in, but sort of saying to him, hey, buddy, I know you're going to try and make the save. It ain't happening. Having said that, look at that trip. White, you know what? I think Matt Lynch may have gotten roped in there. He went to knock White Mike off the apron. I think he felt, look at that cover, I think he felt like it was inevitable that White Mike was going to intervene. He wanted to take him out of play, and in the process, he got trapped in the wrong corner. And that's the last thing you want to happen in a tag team contest, is to get trapped in the wrong side of the ring, your opponent's side of the ring. Now he's totally isolated over there. We got Timmy Lou Retton doing headstand choke holds into elbows. Nice cover. That almost got him. I mean, that was awfully close. This is a fierce fierce offensive attack. Not Timmy Lou over there knocking Joey off the apron. Look at that uppercut. Bob Cook level right hand there, folks. As Timmy goes to the choke. And White Mike following it up, too. I mean, they've got Matt Lynch in a bad position. I mean, a seriously bad position. And I have to say, you know, we've seen the Lynch brothers here with a big W before over AC Mack and Ike Cross, but the reality is, folks, I would not consider it an upset for the Gymnasty boys to win this. I think this is a pick'em. I think of all the matches on this show, this may be the match where there is no clear favorite. White Mike now. Nice elbow. Sort of a short chop there.
It's so cold tonight air.
Well, you know, he's not wrong. He's joking about the cold night air, but the reality is that sun comes down, those chops, those strikes, hell, every time you hit the ring ropes, it's going to hurt a little bit more than it would if the sun was still out. That's just the reality of the situation. Even on a night that is not particularly cold in Tyrone, Georgia, that difference in temperature will make a difference in terms of impact. And a nice attack there from Timmy Lou Retton. And not the best cover, but Matt Lynch is still in a terrible position, and it is difficult to see how he's going to be able to extricate himself from this position at this point in this contest. Look like a double thrust, almost shades of the great Rufus R. Jones there. White Mike jumps in and misses an air ball, and Timmy Lou needs to turn, I was about to say needs to turn back to Matt Lynch. Maybe going for belly to back. Matt floats over, ducks underneath, Joey Lynch in. They were not able to keep that isolation. And now Joey Lynch is going to make them pay. Big forearm combination to both men. God, high enziguri. Nice double knees. Gets both men, sticks them, both face plants them. White Mike all alone for the cover. Joey Lynch almost had him. Good cover. Timmy Lou is rolled out, and you talk about the wrong corner. He rolled out right at the feet of Matt Lynch. White Mike whipped in, up. Both men now double combo with the strikes. 2. Timmy Lou Retton just making it in. I think Joey Lynch tried to cut him off, couldn't quite do so. That's where the size of Timmy Lou plays a big role. Very advantageous for a guy that size. He can just sort of plow through his opponents if all else fails. Look at this big round-off elbow. We talked about his agility earlier. Into an assisted code breaker. 1, 2. Very close. And once again, Matt Lynch in a bad position after all that. We are right back to square one with Matt Lynch in a precarious position. Joey Lynch on the apron, and the Gymnasty boys doubling him up. Swinging around for that can opener. He got all of it. Dead center. Hook that leg. 2. Oh. Now that, you don't see that every day. Timmy Lou Retton went over to stop Joey Lynch, who I do not think would have been able to break that up on his own. Joey Lynch just shoved Timmy Lou Retton onto the cover. That would have been a W for the Gymnasty boys if Timmy Lou Retton had not tried to break that up. Nice low kick. White Mike trapped. Floats over. Big frog splash into the big moonsault with the Caleb moonsault. 1, 2, 3. That is it. The Lynch brothers. That's 2 times they've picked up a W here at Action Wrestling, this time over the Gymnasty boys, one of the top tag teams in all of tag team wrestling on the independents today. Big W here for Joey and Matt Lynch at Action Wrestling.
Listen, that is not how you treat your future champion. When I come out here and I stand in the middle of my ring, you jump to your feet and you cheer my name. Come October 26th, I got James Bandy, and I can promise you that the hush, I can promise you that the kid will advance to the finals and eventually become the first Action Wrestling champion. But tonight, Gangrel, tonight you fall to the man that is standing right here in the center of his very own ring. Scott, pay attention. This is how you do an introduction, okay? Born and raised in the swamps of Atlanta, Georgia. Hush, hush. Simmer down. I'm not done. Simmer down. This is the best part. Weighing in at a whopping 207 pounds. Oh, he bulked up, baby. I give to you the Mack of all trades, A.C. Mack.
Main event time here in Tyrone, Georgia at the Founders Day Festival Action Wrestling. Our fourth event coming to a close with a big time matchup as we've got AC Mack, the Mack of all trades, the loudest mouth in the South, if I may say so myself, taking on a legend, Gangrel. Gangrel, of course, former WWE superstar, former ECW superstar, as well as the Vampire Warrior, one of the fiercest competitors around, one of the toughest guys in pro wrestling, one of the hardest hitting veterans active on the scene today, up against a guy who really proved, I think, to all of his doubters that he can go at our last event when he defeated Austin Theory in the main event in AC Mack. And look at that, roped him in, and look, an early advantage for AC Mack. That's a little bit of a surprise. Nice flurry. He's able to rope the veteran into the corner and take advantage. And look at these excellent right hands. My God. Just totally tagging Gangrel. And I was not expecting that. As I say that, Gangrel's going to make him pay. And he's going to return fire with a flurry of his own. Whips AC Mack into the turnbuckle, but no one at home. Nice, well-placed kick Looked like AC maybe a teasing high, going low there. Got to give him credit for that one. Very smart wrestling. Don't have to like the mouth, the strategy, and frankly the incessant whining of AC Mack to recognize that the guy is a very good pro wrestler. I think one of the best guys in the entire state of Georgia. And as I say that, he walks right into a big body slam, and there you go. There's that corkscrew elbow Gangrel likes to use. Hooks the leg. That's one of the big signature maneuvers from Gangrel, and AC Mack able to survive it there. Gangrel, asking for this crowd to follow along with him here as he puts it to him, going for that impaler DDT. AC Mack bails out. Very, very smart. AC Mack now sort of staggering around ringside, trying to get control of things. It looks like he's doing a breathing exercise. I'm not sure how effective that's going to be. Gangrel's on the trail, though. Caught him with that boot. AC tried to retreat. I actually think the outdoor setting may have worked against him there. Normally you're just sort of going in that sort of straight line around. We've got a more wide arcing area here where the fans are roped off, and I think AC was kind of unaware of what direction to go and ended up taking a boot to the gut for his troubles. Fires back with a shot of his own, though. Well, went for that post. Gangrel able to block it. Taking a lot of time out here on the floor, though. Both men now have blocked that. Nice back elbow. Referee administering the count. You got to be careful. This could end up in a double count out if they're not careful. As I say that, Gangrel meets that post. He met it hard, folks. Not where you want to be if you're Gangrel. Well-placed elbow. Almost a guillotine-style elbow there. He's got that choke in.
2, 3, 4. Watch the choke. Oh, hush.
Trying to talk some sense into him there, the official, trying to make sense of this situation. Instead, we're going to get a slingshot. We're going to get a slingshot high on the throat area. Gangrel literally gagging as he rolls out to the floor. I mean, you can crush somebody's larynx on a ring rope very, very easily. That is a potentially serious situation, but it may just have ticked him off. It might just have ticked him off. I mean, this guy is not a normal pro wrestler, Gangrel. I mean, let's just be honest. The guy's a vampire, for God's sake. AC, though, ropes him in with a drop kick low. I got to say, AC Mack strategizing in this has been quite good. I'm surprised. Even against the vet. Nice double knees. Pulls him out. Sweeps all the way around. Likes to do that sweep drop kick. He got it. I am stunned here as it goes for the cover. I am stunned that AC Mack has been able to dictate the pace. He's been able to control the pace against the veteran Gangrel. I would have bet any amount of money in the world that would not have been how this match unfolded. And yet here we are as Gangrel began trying to call the fans here. This has been a banner year for AC Mack, folks, so make no mistake about it. Winning the Scenic City Scramble back at the Scenic City Invitational, earning the right to call his shot in the Scenic City Rumble coming up in February. Big lariat there. Also defeating Austin Theory, as I mentioned. Look at this cover. At our last event, that big win over Austin Theory. Now he's in here with Gangrel. I mean, this is a great run of potentially big-time wins if he's able to piece this together as part of the puzzle and defeat Gangrel. I mean, not only would it be an upset in my estimation, it would really sort of be the trifecta for AC Mack in big-time matches over the last few months leading into the Action Wrestling title tournament. Nice release, belly to belly, almost tossed Mack outside the ring. And this is the moment of reckoning for Gangrel. If he's going to get his wits back to him, if he's going to get control of this contest, he's got to do so right now as he rolls back toward AC Mack. Both men back up to a vertical base now. Mack's still in control amazingly, even after that belly to belly, but he's whipped into the turnbuckle. Looked like a collision of heads there. Oh my God, what a chop. What a chop from Gangrel. But he runs right into a big boot. No! Big float over power slam. Not able to go to the cover. That may have been enough for a 3 count, but he was not able to go to the cover. And we may have a situation here. We talk about this sometimes, but we may have a reset situation in this contest where it's literally any man's game. They're both up. They're both trading heavy leather. They're trading hands in the center of the ring. And this crowd's got no truck, as my British friends would say, for AC Mack. Gangrel ducks right into the boot. That's a couple times he's been roped in. Really, look at that. Float over Bulldog. And the body of AC Mack's gone totally limp. His arms flailing backwards behind him. Gangrel trying to kick this crowd into another gear, but I think he may be making a mistake. He might should have gone for a cover there. He's pulled AC Mack back up. Underneath, look at this. Russian leg sweep. Yes, he got it. Floated over into a cover. God almighty. He had that leg hooked, but he did not quite have the torque that you need. You got to wonder if that physical exhaustion is starting to take a hold in this contest. He's going for that Impaler DDT again. AC Mack counters with a corner charge. Going to those right hands. He's used those well throughout this contest. Big reversal into the ropes. Another Bulldog. That's 2. This one a slightly different variation. Oh, awfully close. Awfully close. On the, I can't say that it gets much closer than that, folks. And AC Mack may well be finished as Gangrel's going for the Impaler one more time. Yet again, oh no. Referee Ryan Rembrandt knocked down again, it looks like, in that corner. Charges, misses the double knees. Once again, we're seeing that Impaler. Wait a minute. Gangrel living by that Impaler, and he may be dying by it. Oh my God. Low blow or not, AC Mack going into that first round contest he talked again about earlier against James Bandy on October the 26th at our Action Wrestling Tournament, our next event here at the Action Zone. He has defeated Gangrel. Absolutely shocking result. And dare I say it, perhaps the biggest win in the career of AC Mack here at the Founders Day Festival. Thank you everyone in the city of Tyrone for having us. Thank you Powerbomb.tv for hosting us on your wonderful platform. We will see you all on October the 26th for the beginning of the Action Wrestling Title Tournament.
I told each and every one of you that I was going to come up in here and win. I was going to come up in here. Hush. Hush. No. No.